Messiah ben Yosef, Origins, number 1. What is the greatest secret of Rabbinic Judaism? Is it the resting place of the Holy Ark? No. Is it the explicit vowels of the ineffable name? No. Is it the golem that walks by night? No, that's not it either. Let me tell you the greatest secret of Rabbinic Judaism. The greatest secret of Rabbinic Judaism is Messiah ben Yosef. Messiah ben Yosef appears throughout Rabbinic literature. He is a Messiah who comes from Galilee to die, pierced by wicked foes at the gate of Jerusalem. After he dies, Israel are scattered among the nations. But his death confounds Satan, atones for sin, and abolishes death itself, and then he is raised to life again. Now, anyone with the least idea of what divides the Abrahamic faiths must find it remarkable that such a figure exists in Jewish literature. Yet he is there, in hundreds of passages, in scores of documents of every kind, in the Targums and Talmud, in the homiletic and exegetic Midrashim, in the apocalyptic Midrashim and the Zohar. He appears in Jewish literature of every genre and period. But where did this Messiah ben Yosef come from? Well, he arises from 3 prophecies in the books of Moses. That is, in Genesis chapter 3 and 49, and in Deuteronomy chapter 33. Let's see what they say. Genesis 3:15 is the mother prophecy of all the messianic prophecies in the Bible. The Holy One appears to Adam and Eve after their disobedience in the Garden of Eden. He foretells the serpent's doom. He says, "I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." It's a picture of one walking through open country. He sees a serpent, he stamps on its head, but is struck by its fangs. Now this one who is called seed of the woman should make us pause, for it points to a single, unique man. For Hebrew thought recognizes children as the seed of the male, whereas the female is the soil in which the seed is planted. So the seed of the woman is one born of woman, but of undisclosed paternity. That may seem strange to us, but it's not so strange in Genesis, where women bear children to the sons of the gods, and gods and men walk, talk, and wrestle together. This seed of the woman will crush the serpent's head. In so doing, he will liberate mankind and restore their rightful dominion over the earth. But he will suffer in the conflict. How much he will suffer is not said. A serpent's strike can be fatal or just painful, but he will be struck in his conflict with evil. Ancient Israelite interpretation sees the Messiah in this prophecy. The Targum Yerushalmi says, "Nevertheless, there shall be a remedy for the sons of the woman. But for you, serpent, there shall be no remedy. But it shall be that for these, for humankind, there shall be a remedy for the heel in the days of the King Messiah." In other words, the King Messiah shall save those who have been bitten by the serpent. So this prophecy foretells that the Messiah is to suffer. But it does not say that he is to come from Joseph. For that, we must go to the end of Genesis. On our way through the book of Genesis, we read the story of Joseph, the blameless youth, beloved by his father. He is thrown into a pit and sold into virtual death by his jealous brothers. But he rises again to be vizier of Egypt and to save his people. His father Jacob foretells on his deathbed the future of all his sons. He says, "Gather around so I can tell you what will happen to you in the last days." His prophecy to Judah is well known. Kings will come from Judah until one called Shiloh appears to rule the nations. But his prophecy to his darling Joseph is less well known. It runs like this. A fruitful shoot is Joseph, a fruitful shoot upon a spring, whose branches run over the wall. They attacked him and shot at him. They hated him, the bowmen. But his bow remained steady, and the arms of his hands became supple, from the hands of the might of Jacob. From thence will come a shepherd, rock of Israel. From the God of your father, who shall help you, and from Shaddai, who shall bless you. Now note three things here. First, Joseph will be exceedingly fruitful. His branches, his offspring, will climb over the wall. This is what Jacob already said to Joseph's son Ephraim in the chapter before. He said, "His seed shall fill the nations." And this happened when Joseph's children were scattered by Assyria in 722 BC, and they really did begin to fill the nations. Second, Jacob recalls the bitter arrows of Joseph's fate, his brother's treachery, the slaver's whips, Potiphar's wife's lies, and he says that Joseph overcame all these things by the hand of the mighty God of Jacob. Third, Jacob foretells that from thence, that is, from the God of Jacob, from Shaddai, from thence there will arise to Joseph a great hero, a shepherd rock of Israel. This hero is called a shepherd because he will be a just and good ruler, and he is called a rock or stone because he will be a strong defence forever. Now, it is not actually said that the shepherd rock will be Joseph's biological son, just as it is not actually said that Shiloh will be Judah's biological son. They are simply heroes promised to each tribe. But since the patriarchs typologically portray their tribes, we may infer that what happened to Joseph will happen also to his shepherd rock. Just as Joseph was beloved, blameless, betrayed, buried, and exalted, so will it be with the shepherd rock. He too, beloved by his father, will be betrayed by his brothers and buried, but will rise again to be vizier of the world. And lest anyone imagine that I am just making all this up, I refer you to Ramban's commentary on Deuteronomy 32, verse 4. He says there that Joseph's shepherd rock is the Holy One himself, and the rock rejected by the builders of Psalm 118, and a great commander like Joseph's son Joshua. And Ramban himself is hoping for this second Joshua to come, even in the 13th century, and restore the Holy Land to Israel. So Ramban thought the shepherd rock was to be a Messiah and a second Joshua. So Genesis 3:15 foretells the coming of a suffering hero, the seed of the woman. And in Genesis 49, we understand that this hero, now called the shepherd rock, will suffer like Joseph and then perhaps be a second conquering Joshua. But it is Moses who joins all these ideas permanently together in his prophecy about the tribes of Joseph, as we shall see in our next video, Messiah ben Yosef, Origins, number 2. In the meantime, if you would like a few more details about Messiah ben Yosef in Genesis, then you should check out this book on Amazon.